for this project, we are using this. So lately I've been thinking about how to go about creating clothes for myself during my least favorite season, summer. I hate being hot. My skin starts burning at like 15 minutes in direct sunlight. And I'm also a sweaty gremlin. So altogether, just not the best version of me. This year, I actually want to try. Oh, I think he wants to leave. Do you want to go? Okay. Oh, you didn't want to leave, you just wanted to sit on the other side of the bed. I see. This side wasn't good enough. I understand. I bought my first pair of jean shorts ever, instead of just like cutting off the ends of old jeans, so that's a step. And the next step is to actually make myself something. I've been seeing like mesh sweaters and just really lightweight sweaters that I think can at least go into like late spring, early summer. I am going to be making a mesh, well, it started off as a mesh sweater and then it went down to a mesh crop top and then it went down to a mesh shrug. It's a journey. I literally took double the amount of time that it usually takes me to make something, especially something that ended up being this little fabric basically. Life got really busy, so that was part of the problem about why I didn't upload anywhere near the point where I thought I would. But it was also that this project took a lot longer than I would have ever wanted it to. But for this project, we are using this. I know it looks like a medieval torture device, but it's not. It's a Flower Loom, which I've seen versions of this. I've never seen this version. In fact, I think this specific style went out of production. I was looking online to see if I could find it and I couldn't find it anywhere. Maybe because these are kind of pokey. I could see this hurting someone. My mom actually bought this for me probably 10 years ago at this point, before I even got into knitting or crochet. She thought this would be like a fun, crafty thing for me to try, and I've never made anything with it. And today that's about to change. The one thing that's nice about this version though is that it can kind of go back into itself kind of like a turtle, which you'll see later why that's actually really useful. Most other flower looms that or circular looms I think is the other name, don't do that. So that's the one nice thing about this one. I'm going to be using a bunch of leftover yarn from other projects. I think they're usually like weight 2 or 3. The color combination I really like. I think it's very spring-like. My mom says it looks like I'm the human incarnation of the Easter Bunny, but I like it. So we're gonna get started here. Before we do that, I just very quickly wanted to thank everyone who commented on my last video. I got so much encouragement and helpful tips and just like the kindest comments. That was just something I was not expecting from that video at all. So thank you. I was scared that people were gonna tell me I was doing it wrong in like, you know, not the nicest way. And that was the absolute opposite of what happened. Y'all were just the nicest. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But with that said, let's get started. Now that I have made approximately 30 to 40 of these bad boys, let me give you a few tips and tricks that I have discovered through trial and error, especially because I could not find the English instructions. These little petal areas, you don't have to go tight. You don't have to like really pull and keep the tension on that yarn. I did that at the beginning. I thought that would make it look better for some reason, but all it does is kind of cause heartache when you do this little center section right here. It's much harder, at least in my case, to pull your needle through. But also don't do it too loose. I also made that mistake in the circle in the center. There's two issues with this, but part of it was that this circle in the center becomes way too large for my taste. Maybe you like it with like a bigger hole in the middle, but I don't. I like it to be more petal. A third thing, which leads to this part being like pretty concise and small. Is this called the bud? What is it? Oh my gosh, I don't know what this is. Is it called a bud? Please let it be called a bud. Can I look it up? Hey Alexa, what is the center of a flower called?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the center of a flower is called the pistil. It is made up of 3 parts, the stigma, style, and ovary.
I don't think that answered the question for me. Okay. So apparently it is called a pistil. I'm just gonna call it the center of the flower. Where was I now? Now the thing you are gonna wanna do with this center bit is to actually pull it tight. But when you're holding the loom, you wanna pull your hand down, not out. It is just going to keep that center from just getting too large, unless you like it that way. If you like the way that the bigger ones look, then do it that way. I like it this way, just personal preference. Last thing is that some flower looms apparently, or kits, don't teach you to do the circle around the edges. Mine did, and I will tell you, this is going to make it much easier to connect them to one another. That's all the things I've learned. I'm on my 4th row right now, so I haven't gotten very far, but hopefully those are helpful if your kit, like mine, just barely tells you anything. Cool. I look like this today. We're not going to talk about it. Hello. I'm struggling. So it's been 3, maybe even 4 weeks since I started this project, and I'm still nowhere close to being done. That is a combination between the last few weeks actually got like weirdly busy for me. I was not expecting it. But the second thing is that these take forever to make. It doesn't feel like it when you're only making one, but then you look at the time and you think, oh, I've only made like 3 or 4. Or sometimes it'd be the end of the day. You know, I really only had like the beginning of the day and the end of the day to make these, and I just wouldn't feel like doing that, but most days I did. I really thought I'd be very close to finished, and I'm not. So we are going to be changing the plan just a little bit because I am sorry. I am actually getting to a point where I'm not enjoying this project anymore. And I think if I had had the expectation that this would have taken this long, I don't think I'd be frustrated. But I really thought that this was going to be a quick project. So now that it's taking basically double the amount of time that I thought, I'm getting frustrated. I have no patience to begin with, so that's also on me. But for me, so that I can get back to enjoying this project, I'm going to change the idea a little here. So instead of a kind of big oversized sweater, I'm gonna go for more just like an oversized crop top? Cropped top? What's the right way to say that? A top that is cropped. I'm gonna give it short sleeves. I'm gonna shorten it a lot.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I hope that that means that when I do this little counting math thing that I'm about to do, it's not math, it's counting. I hope that I'm going to be almost finished with making these little flowers so that I can move on to actually building the piece and connecting them. I also think that this might just work better. I wanted to make this so that I could wear it in warmer weather, and honestly, having a long sleeve shirt probably wouldn't have been the best for that. So maybe this will all work out for the best. Am I just telling myself things to make myself feel better? Yes. Okay. So this little sweater vest was actually originally a sweater that I bought a very, very long time ago, and then I badly changed it into a sweater vest. This is the perfect length of the cropped style that I would want, or how cropped I would want it to be. And it turns out that I only need 5 rows instead of 7 to get this length. So now I have to count all of these and see how much more I have to do. So, be right back. So, I need 3 or 4 more. I already forgot my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Okay, that's close. 2 more to complete the front. And then I'm gonna do, I think, 2 rows of 5 for each sleeve. So that's 20, 22. That's a little more than I thought. I thought I'd be mostly done by now. It's fine. 22 is doable. We're gonna do 22, and we're gonna do it in 2 days. And that way, hopefully I can get putting it together, done in another 2 days, and then I'm done by the end of the week. Positivity, people. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Let's keep going. It's finally over. Yeah. This is me very badly trying to show you how I was connecting all these flowers. I was using a single crochet stitch and trying to use as much of the pink as possible because I had the most of that and I wasn't afraid of running out. So it's Valentine's Day, if you couldn't tell. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but I just think the aesthetics are mwah, top notch. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to by this point, but before the sun completely sets, I thought I would just show you where I am, which is here. That's a very cropped top. Yeah, it's gonna be a little too short, but you know what? I'm just gonna call it good enough, and we're going to make it into like a summery shrug. All the ones that I've seen have long sleeves, but I wanna wear this in hot weather, so maybe that will just all be for the best. Wow. Gonna keep working at it until, well, I hope the next time you see me is when this whole thing is done. So this project was a rough one. This was a rough one. I was getting so tired and frazzled and frustrated towards the end that I just kind of, if I saw a piece of a flower that didn't have a seam, I just connected it, and I actually think it ended up looking pretty artful. I feel like it almost looks like colorful moss, and I really like it. When I first tried it on, I didn't, but as I was getting ready, I liked it more, and I think I can now say I actually do like this piece. It is now, in my opinion, definitively a summer piece. You know, I think it would be the perfect thing that if I just feel like I need a little bit of a layer, or, you know, there are days where you're more confident in your body, you're less confident in your body, and that's just normal, and maybe on the day where I want to feel like my arms are covered, this will be a good light option. I definitely wouldn't recommend at least making these flowers the same way that I did. For some reason, the way I made them, and I know that I didn't have the instructions for a long time, the way that I did them wasn't the best. If you wanna attempt something like this, I would probably recommend making every flower the same color. That will save you so much time. This multicolor business it's not good for time reasons. I'm so like relieved. I was so scared I wasn't gonna like this. And I'm not in love with this. Like, this isn't my favorite project I've ever done, but I really like it. And that's, again, I feel like the theme of this video is just, it's good enough. It's good enough. It's fine. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I have to admit that this time I didn't really enjoy making this. Experimenting is always a good thing, but I don't really know if it was worth it. That's the point. I don't know if this was worth it. That's gonna be it for me this week. Thank you so much for sticking around. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more from me, and I hope to see you back here next time. Bye.